This week, News 30's last spring broadcast.
And stay tuned for the aftermath of this week's storms and how state budget cuts may be affecting your children.
Welcome to this semester's last edition of News 30. I'm Alyssa Sperazza.
And I'm Emma Patton.
Wednesday, Ted Cruz announced former Republican presidential candidate Carly Fiorina as his running mate. This announcement comes shortly after Donald Trump won all 5 of the East Coast states on Super Tuesday, leaving the Cruz campaign in need of momentum as the numbers put Cruz in danger of losing the GOP presidential nomination.
There are now less than 100 days until the opening ceremony for the 2016 Olympics being hosted in Rio de Janeiro. Anticipation is building, but Brazil has released concerns leading up to the worldwide attention. Political turmoil and economic recession are among the few issues Brazil is facing as they are getting ready for the Games. This past Monday, to add to the list of problems, it was released that 11 workers have died so far working on Olympic projects. Brazil's leaders are hoping the Olympic Games bring a positive distraction while they deal with the country's issues.
And this past Tuesday, finalists were interviewed for the position of police chief for the city of Shawnee. It was an open event to the public, giving the community an opportunity to meet the candidates. The 3 finalists are Dan Dennis, chief of police for the city of Forest Hill, Texas; Larry Lindsay, the captain and commander of Homeland Security for the Shelby County Sheriff's Office in Memphis, Tennessee; and Mason Wilson, interim police chief for the city of Shawnee. For more information about the election, you can contact the office of the city manager at 405-878-1601 or go to www.shawneeok.org. And when we come back, Emma Patton talks about community renewal. Stay with us.
Back to News 30.
The Shawnee Police Department said goodbye last week to one of its most valued officers. Canine Officer Zico retired after 6 years on the job. The 12-year-old German Shepherd has a very impressive record with 98 arrests to his name. Not only that, but Zico has also been responsible for sniffing out 28 pounds of marijuana, 7 ounces of methamphetamine, and 1 gram of cocaine. Zico will continue to live with his current handler. Before joining the police department, though, Zico served overseas with the United States Marine Corps.
And most of us have been encouraged to love our neighbor, but one organization in Shawnee is focusing on loving their neighborhood. Brandon Dyer is the executive director of Community Renewal, a new nonprofit here in Shawnee. Their plan is to make Shawnee a better place through relationships. Although they just started in January, Community Renewal has already been hard at work.
In the neighborhoods, we try to place block leaders on each block that are coordinating care for their area. We already have a partnership with Jefferson Elementary School and have started a young men's club there with some boys that need some guidance. Love is the only thing that can change our world, and that's what we're asking from our neighbors, is to really learn to love and care for each other again.
Getting involved with Community Renewal can be as simple as just saying you care. By putting a sign in your yard and loving your neighborhood, you might just change the world. If you'd like more information or a We Care yard sign, you can check out Community Renewal Shawnee on Facebook.
And the Pioneer Library System will be hosting a series of citizenship classes. The classes are presented by the library's literacy services and will be part of an 8-week program beginning on April 30th and lasting until June 18th. Classes will be 1 hour long, starting at 10 a.m. and ending at 11. These classes will provide English language learning and tutoring services for adults with the goal of helping them achieve U.S. citizenship. The class is funded by a grant from the Oklahoma Department of Libraries. It will be free of charge, but early registration will be required for anyone interested.
Due to state budget cuts, Shawnee Public Schools will be cutting 34 positions district-wide. 4 administration positions, 8 support staff positions, and 22 teaching positions will not be filled for the upcoming year. Other cuts being made include restructuring lease and purchase agreements and also cutting departmental budgets. Parents and staff were made aware of the cuts on Wednesday evening via email. Superintendent Mark Moore has stated that the school district will continue putting the needs of the children first, even though there are the cuts.
And coming up next, News 30's Andrew Tinker has this week's weather.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back.
Here's Andrew Tinker with this week's weather.
Thank you, Emma. Current conditions are about 74 degrees and clear here in Shawnee. It feels like 74 with the wind coming out of 9 miles per hour. Today's highs was about 75, which is about 5 degrees above normal and a good bit above the normal low. The record was set back in 2013 at about 80 degrees. Today's highs around the area, more mid to upper 70s, 77 in Tecumseh, Seminole, and Peak, got up to 79 in Holdenville, and here in Shawnee was at 75. Around the state, more of the same, with Ardmore getting all the way up to 80 degrees, and Woodward being only up to 68. Up in Tulsa, they got about 76 degrees, along with Oklahoma City. Overnight lows for the area, Shawnee will get down to about 56 degrees with the storms rolling through. Tecumseh up to 57, and McLeod down to 56 degrees. Overnight lows around the state, more of the same. Woodward gets down to about 51 degrees. Oklahoma City will be 57. Ardmore and Lawton both get down to about 60 degrees. Storms are currently rolling through the western part of the state, so they'll be here later this evening and tomorrow morning. So about 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. we'll still have some of those hanging around. It'll be about 59 degrees in the morning, getting up to about 72 on the day, and then back down to 70 by the evening when they've all shifted off to the east. The weekend forecast, Friday we'll have those storms I mentioned, along with the high of 70 degrees. The low will be 53 degrees with winds out of the east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour as that storms blow through. Saturday it'll be partly cloudy and it'll finally clear up on Sunday, have a high of about 69 degrees with a low of 49 degrees. Your 7-day forecast looks pretty good other than the storms at the beginning part of the week. So tomorrow, partly cloudy on Saturday. Monday we'll have some possible showers with a high of about 64 degrees. Wednesday it's going to be about 69, and this time next week it's going to be back up to about 83 degrees. That's all for this week's weather. Back to you.
And Tuesday night, Shawnee experienced winds up to 90 miles an hour that caused damages to homes and business around the city. News 30 caught up with Don Lynch, the Emergency Management Director for the City of Shawnee and Pottawatomie County, on Wednesday to talk about the storm.
But we did have a few trees that were damaged last night, particularly ones that were perhaps diseased or a little bit weak. There were a couple of houses that were affected by trees, and there was a billboard that was on wooden posts that broke over in the wind, and that fell on a house that was damaged. Had a business with a sign that was damaged. But all in all, looking from county line to county line, talking with emergency managers and folks in the area, Pottawatomie County and the city of Shawnee scraped by pretty well last night with just some much needed rain. We encourage our citizens to have multiple ways of receiving weather information. They should obviously be monitoring radio and TV. In Shawnee, we also offer a mass notification system where you can sign up for that online at shawneeok.org on the emergency management page. And then you can also call our office if you don't have internet access at 878-1650, and we can sign you up for that service. We also encourage those folks who have storm cellars who have not registered them to call and register with our Safe Room registry. Don't wait till the day of the storm to call now. Again, our number is 878-1650, and make sure that we have you in our registry so we'll know where to send a search and rescue team should a tornado affect their neighborhood.
This evening, Shawnee Middle School is hosting the 2016 Sister Cities International Dinner. News 30's Morgan Smith has more.
The 2016 International Dinner is a fundraiser meant to raise money to send 8 students to Shawnee's sister city, Nikaho, Japan. Jessica Brown is the chairman of the Shawnee Sister Cities. In 2014, she personally accompanied the group of students going to Japan. She described the experience as amazing and praised the people of Nikaho.
They're really generous for all the things they do for us. Mm-hmm. They go out of their way. They treat us like we're movie stars, but that we're royalty. And they're just so hospitable toward us.
The program started in 1987 and was started by the mayor at the time and a business that originated in Nikaho known as TDK.
The purpose of doing this, they're just expanding their corporation, and they also have expanded TDK to China, from Japan to China to Germany, also to Korea, to start more jobs.
This decision has been to the benefit of both communities.
I've definitely brought the two communities together, I think, as well, to be a sister city. We work together in many different ways that most of the community in Shawnee doesn't know about.
The exchange program is just one of the ways in which these two communities work together. This is the 10th year that Shawnee will use the dinner to raise money to not only send over students from Shawnee, but also to bring 14 students from Nikaho here. Two of the students from Shawnee who will be participating in the exchange are Hannah Sadie from Shawnee Middle School and Ellis Wansteck from Grove Middle School. They decided to participate in the program to learn more about the culture.
I like traveling, so I figured it would be a good opportunity for me to experience this.
For me, I've always wanted to try and travel around the world, and I also wanted to learn things about where I've been, so I thought this would be a very fun learning experience.
They have been attending meetings along with the other exchange students to prepare for the trip.
Meetings now, they're usually on Sunday afternoons, and we just talk about what's going to happen, and we learn Japanese.
They are both looking forward to the trip and the cultural experience of studying abroad.
Most looking forward to learning about their culture and making new friends.
About the same, but I'm also looking forward to eating more sushi.
The Japanese students that will be attending school in Shawnee will come for a visit in the fall. Proceeds from ticket sales for the dinner will go towards travel, educational, and recreational expenses for both groups.
Marvel fans have been flooding Facebook and Twitter with the hashtags Team Cap and Team Iron Man as videos from the stars themselves compete for fans in preparation for the premiere of the comic book Heroes Showdown. Whether you're Team Captain America or Team Iron Man, the wait is almost over for the premiere of the Marvel's Captain America Civil War. The movie is set for release on May 6th and will be playing in the Shawnee Carmike Cinema starting at 3:30 p.m. I don't know about you, Emma, but I'm all for Team Cap.
I'm personally an Iron Man fan. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. Can't beat it.
They're both fantastic.
Well, we'll be right back after the break with sports. Here's Jason Berger with this week's sports update.
All right, thank you, ladies. Well, this week, the OBU tennis teams went down to Abilene, Texas, and came back with a regional win for the men and women's tennis teams. The men's won its first NCCAA men's tennis regional on Saturday, knocking off the host McMurray to win the Central Region. As for the women's team, the Lady Bison earned the title of Central Region champion as well, after they also defeated McMurray and earned a spot in the national bracket. The entire OBU tennis squad will be headed to Mobile, Alabama on May 10th for the NCCAA National Championship Tournament. And last night was an exciting night for Holy Wars baseball game, as OBU was able to take down St. Gregory's in a 9-7 slugfest. St. Greg's did lead at 2 points in the game, but took a devastating hit as OBU was able to score 7 of their 9 runs in the third inning. The OBU offense was able to hit 3 home runs, including a massive grand slam by Trevor Azell. St. Greg's tried to make it interesting by scoring 4 runs in the 7th inning, which included a 2-run double by Logan Hart. But it wasn't enough to compete with the Bison's 9 runs and Chad Bennett's 5 innings of lockdown pitching. With the victory, the Bison achieved their 30th win of the season, and it also marks the 13th consecutive 30-win season under head coach Bobby Cox. For OBU, this Holy Wars matchup definitely gave them something to fight for. And on the topic of baseball, for the second weekend in a row, News 30 was lucky enough to attend the Friday night OKC Dodgers home game, in which the Dodgers hosted the Memphis Redbirds. In case you missed our live tweets of the game, here's an inside look at how the Dodgers were able to compete in what we are calling the Tennessee Series. This last Friday night in Oklahoma City, attendance soared past 10,000 as the Dodgers took on Memphis in the 16th straight game that the OKC squad faced a team from the state of Tennessee, that is, either Memphis or Nashville. When looking specifically at Memphis, the Dodgers posted a 5-3 winning record, and last Friday night basically took batting practice against the Redbirds pitching staff. The Dodgers slapped 10 hits on the board and were able to put the final nail in the Tennessee Series coffin with a 7-1 win. But it's not just the win that was substantial. Friday night's matchup provided almost too many headlines to handle. Los Angeles Dodgers outfielder Carl Crawford has been spending time in OKC as a rehab assignment for his hurt back, and showed that he was ready to go back up to the big leagues by going 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. In addition, starting pitcher Julio Urias got the win, only allowing 2 hits through 5 innings of work. And if that wasn't enough, shortstop Zach Walters was put into the lineup just minutes before game time and hit 2 back-to-back home runs, one of which was hit out of the park. With that kind of an exclamation point on the Tennessee series, it's safe to say that fans in OKC will have a new favorite team to cheer for when the Thunder are in the offseason this summer. Any luck, the Dodgers will hopefully be able to stay on top of the Pacific Coast League this summer. Ladies, take it away.
Thank you, Jason. Unfortunately, tonight is the last show of News 30 for this semester. From our producers, managers, graphic designers, editors, and us, we'd like to thank you for joining us each week.
Yes, thank you so much for all the support you've given us. We've enjoyed every minute getting to inform the community of Shawnee. We hope you'll join us again this fall, and you can continue to follow us on News 30 on Facebook and Twitter at Shawnee News 30.
And finally, thank you to our producers who are stepping down, Hannah Lounsbury and Nicole Smith, for all the incredible work you did this past year. Good luck to all students during finals week, and we hope you have a fantastic summer.